there is a rumor. Well, it's actually not really a rumor. It's kind of confirmed. Even I'll call it a rumor because it's not. Nintendo hasn't said it yet. But
and we don't want to get Nintendo in trouble for anything because we do love them.
Yeah, Twilight Princess HD Remake has been listed in the Nintendo eShop. Someone data mined the data on the internet, basically, and it showed that the title Twilight Princess HD for Wii U, not Wii U Virtual Console, was there. So usually when that happens, guys, is that when they put those releases out, when Nintendo releases their little data information, it's usually within a few months that the game's released.
Correct.
And in their investors meeting, the new president of Nintendo, his name is Kimmy for short. I'm not going to even try to pronounce his name anymore. But he said that they have unannounced games that are coming out by the holiday of 2015 for Wii U and 3DS. I'm like, what the heck? He even said that 2 days ago, and here we are already almost in November. They haven't announced it yet. So they have a surprise coming. And he also said there is one more Nintendo Direct coming before the holidays. So they have something in store. Nintendo has been so busy since the death of Satoru Iwata that there's so much stuff going on behind the scenes that it's just amazing. There's so much stuff coming out in this year and next year. It's crazy. So yeah, I just want to share that with you. I think we can look forward to Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U for the holiday. What do you think?
I absolutely agree. I mean, here's the thing about the way Nintendo's set up.
And I love that game, by the way.
Yeah, and data mining, they're not going to go to the process of putting a spot in a store in a thing, even though it's not that you can search it publicly. Data mining is like when you take the entire website's database and then just download it.
Yeah.
Like they just basically took the whole thing and all the information from the servers and just got as much information as they could. And so they're going through all of this stuff.
Thank you for explaining.
And they find this little gem, you know? And Nintendo isn't going to go through that. Why are they putting a placeholder there anyway?
Yeah.
So it's very logical to assume if they're going to go through the work to put something there, no, maybe it won't be released. I can't speak to that. I don't know. Nintendo's tricky that way.
There's one more piece of evidence of why it's going to be released. If you go to Best Buy now and Walmart, they have completely taken out Wii U and 3DS banners. They've replaced it with Nintendo in red, and they put their Nintendo characters there. Okay, Pokemon, they got Mario, they got Link. Guess what Link it is?
Twilight Princess Link?
It's Twilight Princess Link.
Yeah.
Redone in HD.
Like, I know in my heart this is going to happen, but I don't want to be the guy that's, like, on camera or in a podcast being like, oh, this is totally going to happen, and then be like, oh, that guy's a jackass. You know, like...
Hey, you wouldn't be the first. But there's lots of jackasses out there. But they're all that way. They're all wrong.
But, yeah, I think it's totally going to happen. You don't go to the effort of putting it on your eShop and doing all the development. I mean, even if it's simple code. Even if it's, like, type... Why are you going to make a guy put something in there that you're not already in development in? That's the last step in the development chain. So you don't put the title out first and then reskin the fucking game.
Yeah.
You reskin the game and it's all built and ready to go. And then Bill, can you go code that so we can put it in the eShop for Christmas? And he's like, yeah, I got it, man.
So what would you like from a Twilight Princess remake?
Oh, man.
Because I haven't played that game since it came out, honestly. It was great, though.
See, I'm really torn because
we don't know if it's really a remake or just straight up HD, but I know Nintendo.
I'm really torn because I really also like Skyward Sword. I like Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess. The last two Zelda games I think were amazing, and I was just so looking forward to the next one.
Yeah,
you know, and they gave us Wind Waker HD, and I forgot how much I loved that game, and I used to bitch about the sailing.
Yeah, they fixed the sailing. Yeah,
I used to bitch about it, but you can get this fast sail now so quick. They literally let you get some side quest stuff out of the way. They took some steps out to where you can get the fast sail, and the portals are easier to get. They made the game a little easier for traveling. And once they did that, that fixed what an awesome game. And it's like, yeah, maybe they need to do Twilight Princess too.
The main criticism for Twilight Princess was the beginning of the game being too long, the tutorial taking way too long. I didn't experience that myself.
I didn't experience that myself at all.
You know what, though? Because we got the Wii in 2006, and we were, like, on, like, crack cocaine, like, playing that game at midnight, and we were so excited playing it. Remember that?
Yeah, we couldn't actually start the game. I started my game, like, 1 second earlier. Dude, I literally, I'm going to pee. I'm just going to put it in. and the game auto-loaded.
Yeah.
Or like whatever it was. And Damon's like, yeah, you're playing it, I'm not done yet. Because like him and our buddy Garth, he was the camera guy on the Woolly World episode. We all got Wii U's. We all stayed up all night. We all...
the Wii's.
Yeah, the Wii's. The Wii U was a different launch.
Yeah.
I actually combine the systems in my head. They feel like the same to me. Even like the Wii U is like way better, and I play it all the time because I play all my Wii games on the Wii U. Whatever.
But yeah, we got the system. We set up Twilight Princess, and I can't believe we did that. We're trying to play the game.
We were just so excited.
It's crazy,
and we basically we didn't want any spoilers.
Yeah.
So, like, David didn't want to be spoiled, so he, like, literally yelled at me, and I had, like, stop peeing, like, midstream, and, like, stop the game, and then come out. And then wait for him to finish. I think it was Dragon Ball Z that you were playing with Garth at the time.
Oh, great
You're playing Budokai.
Yeah.
Pinch it. And so I was like, all right, I really want to play Zelda now. Like, I'm done with all of the other stuff, because we got them all. We got Red Steel, we got Budokai, we got Excite Truck. We bought every launch game between all of us. Remember that? Like, we had every launch game.
Yeah.
And we played we stayed up all night.
Yeah.
Like, literally stayed up all night playing. And finally, at the very end of the night, we got to Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
And of all the Zelda games, of all the things that will always be the most memorable Zelda ever.
Yeah.
Because of that experience.
Yeah. And I don't recall not enjoying any of it. I thought it was great.
Enjoyed all of it. I didn't think the tutorial was too long. I don't think there was... I love that whole bridge thing.
Yeah.
Where you got to fight the guy on the bridge and the whole bridge collapse. And the dark world and the light world.
Twilight World.
As far as story is concerned, you know, like, I thought it was a little weak. They could tighten that up, or they could... Okay, here's the thing. Nintendo has been rumored for a long time. We're switching into a Zelda conversation, and we're just gonna have to talk about it.
You can make separate. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Nintendo was rumored for a long time, and it came out with the book. This is what confirmed the rumor for me.
The timeline stuff.
Nintendo has stood for a long time that it's basically multi-generational, same story, the same fight.
It's like a Dracula thing.
Like a Dracula thing, or like then this Link gets born in, or a new hero gets born in to save against this evil. And the Triforce is basically make that happen. Mm-hmm. When someone becomes the Ganon, you get the hero of time, or you get like the Triforce is going to find the person with the courage to put it in, and that's kind of the theme they've been playing with. They've never put it all together, and they never come out right and said it.
Yeah.
Every time they make a new Zelda game, there's always that rumor, and Twilight Princess never ramped it up so much that there's going to be this sequel to Ocarina of Time. Mm-hmm. Which everyone wants. And obviously the direct sequel is Majora's Mask, but in their timeline, literally that makes the splittist theory. There was a linear theory and a splittist theory until Nintendo basically came out and said what was canon, which is the splittist theory. Majora's Mask is what happens to young Link's timeline when the hero of time fails. I can go get the book.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah, you want to go get it? You gotta go get it.
We gotta get it for the guys, because you know what they're gonna say, right? All right, here we're back with the book he found for the timeline of Zelda.
Yeah, and I am the jackass that said it wrong. It's not that heroes defeated that the Twilight that Majora's Mask happens. It's the childhood era. So how the timeline works is this: if we're going by game, Skyward Sword, Minish Cap, Four Swords, Ocarina of Time,
and that's where things
get screwy.
Yeah.
So it splits into three timelines. Mm-hmm. It splits into Link doesn't win, which is my favorite.
So he gets killed.
Option that Nintendo gave us.
Yeah.
Link dies. Heroes defeated. Timeline. Then childhood era Link.
Okay.
That goes on and lives his life, and adult era Link that goes on and lives his life. So this is how it splits down game wise. On the childhood era split, the Sacred Realm remains protected, and the next game is Majora's Mask, followed by Twilight Princess, followed by Four Swords Adventures.
Okay. So this middle timeline kind of confuses me a little bit, because he doesn't win or lose here?
No, it's the child. So when you go back in the child? And this is where things get a little weird. basically, they're saying Sacred Realm runs protected because Link defeats Ganon in the future, right? Like, he defeats him in the future, and it gets sealed. So when he goes back, past Link, that it hasn't happened yet. But Ganon's sealed in the Sacred Realm, so he doesn't have to do anything.
He just goes
so
on
the child goes on with his life. Where the adult also goes on with his life because he had to seal. Then that's where the timelines
split.
So it literally makes two different timelines. Timeline A is child didn't have to do anything because when he resets Ganon back to where he needs to go, he no longer needs to travel into the future, so he lives out his life, and then the games that follow.
So the Wind Waker is the sequel to Ocarina of Time.
And the Wind Waker is the sequel to the Ocarina of Time because the Hero of Time
wins.
The Hero of Time wins, and the adult wins. However, Hero of Time dies because he lives his entire life.
Well, yeah.
And he's gone.
Yeah.
So they have to find a new hero in the Wind Waker. And they also flood it because he wasn't there to stop. Ganondorf is resurrected. This is how the timeline starts. So, adult era, Ganon is sealed. Hero of the Winds in the New World. So at some point it gets flooded, just like the Wind Waker time. The Ganondorf is resurrected, Hyrule is sealed, and then flooded. So that happens, and that's why they find the new Link, the new hero, but he's not the Hero of Time anymore. He's the Wind Waker. And it's the new Triforce of Courage, and then he defeats Ganon, and that leads to the sequels Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, which are great, but they're all DS titles. And then Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Four Swords, and then when Link loses, like whether childhood or adult era, fail and Ganon wins, the decline of Hyrule and the last hero, and the imprisoning war is what they said, and then it's a Link to the Past, the resurrection of Ganon, then it's Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, which is another resurrection of Ganon, and then it's Link's Awakening. Then the Monarchs of Hyrule use the Triforce, and then it's the Tragedy of Princess Zelda, which is basically the Legend of Zelda, and then the Adventure of Link, where Adventure of Link, Princess Zelda is actually cursed and falls asleep. You go through the whole game to resurrect her.
So the Legend of Zelda, the original game, and the Adventure of Link, which is the sequel to that game, takes place on the Ocarina of Time where the hero dies.
Well, yes.
Wow.
So all the old games, all the original and farthest back games, and it's kind of clever that they did this. The farthest back games, they can explain away, and they actually say this in the text, they can explain away why the graphics are like 8-bit. Well, Hyrule's so manipulated and destroyed by the Triforce and the corruption of the universe, that's what the universe looks like. It's 8-bit now.
Wow.
They basically said in the text that...
So, what I'm curious about is that in Twilight Princess, Link is already kind of like an adult, right?
Yes.
Is he the same Link as Majora's Mask?
Okay, so this is the easiest way to explain this, and this is right from Nintendo's book. I'm just going to read it. Weaving History. And this is the first thing before you read the timeline, which kind of apologizes for its timeline, but they're trying not to make anybody mad. You know, those crazy internet people. The Chronicle merely collects information that is believed to be true at the time, and there are many obscured and unanswered secrets still lie within the tale. As the stories and storytellers of Hyrule change, so too does the story. Hyrule's history is a continuously woven tapestry of events. Changes that seem inconsequential, disregarded without even a shrug, could evolve at some point to hatch new legends and perhaps change the tapestry of history itself.
Okay.
So they say that. So it's like, it's not all written yet. Here's your good idea. And the next thing is, the hero should be called Link. The hero of these chronicles all share the same name, Link. These links might have all been the same person, a series of family descendants, or a number of heroes with different names entirely. The links of certain eras may have also been named after the legendary hero. Highland princes bearing the name Zelda have also appeared throughout the history of Hyrule, and it's likely that the name was handed down through the generations.
Okay.
So what they're saying is, and no, Twilight Princess Link is not the same Link as Majora's Mask, but it could be. But supposedly there was too much time. He would have lived and died his entire life.
Is the same Link from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. So the same links that are the same links through the thing, Skyward Sword is not the same Link as Minish Cap. But Minish Cap is the same Link that's in Four Swords. And Ocarina of Time is not the same Link as Skyward Sword or the Four Swords Minish Cap. Then Majora's Mask is the same Link that's in Majora's Mask. Wind Waker is a different Link. Wind Waker does Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. That's all the same Link. All right? Now, with A Link to the Past, totally different Link than the Legend of Zelda Link. Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, I haven't played in so long, I don't remember. Should be a different Link. So should Link's Awakening.
But these
two Links are the same Link.
Okay.
So, A Legend of Zelda and The Adventures of Link are the same Link. All the Wind Waker series is the same Link, and the Ocarina of Time series, if you throw in Majora's Mask, like those are the ones where they're the same. Everyone else should technically be a different Link.
All right. So, depending on which timeline you like best, is the most recent Zelda in the timeline. Adventure of Link, or Four Sword Adventures, or Spirit Tracks.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, my favorite Zelda game is probably there, Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess. But yes, this is the sequel to the original Legend of Zelda, and the latest one that happened chronologically. This would be the closest to our history, if that would.
Yeah. If
Zelda this is 2015, then that's where the Adventure of Link is.
Yeah.
And that's where Four Swords is, and that's where Spirit Tracks is.
All right, so thank you for clearing that up. Now, about Twilight Princess HD, what would you change about the original game?
And that's the thing. That's why we brought up the book. That's why we took the time and took the break and blah, blah, blah. So, the long and short of it is, every Zelda person has been waiting for them to not only link these timelines together, but to actually kind of prove, well, is Link a time traveler? Mm-hmm. Is it an ancestry thing? Like, answer some questions about the Triforce. How Link is it the same Link as another? Because we're still... Now, obviously, it's not, but it could be.
Yeah.
Or it couldn't be, or, and I know that Nintendo likes to leave the mystery, but I was always hoping. And so, when Twilight Princess launched, there was this huge rumor that they were going to connect all the lines together for the stuff. What ended up happening is it was a Skyward Sword that did that. Mm-hmm. Skyward Sword came out, and then they came out with the book that basically...
Explained
it all in a chronological manner that everybody was after.
Skyward Sword was the first Zelda game.
And it was a very... And Skyward Sword is the earliest point in the timeline until they make a game that isn't.
Yeah.
But obviously the new one is supposed to...
I don't know the new one. I don't know about the newest one.
The newest new one, when they first were talking about it, is supposed to take place directly after Twilight Princess.
Really? So in between that... The other game, then at the end of that time,
I believe. I have to check my facts.
So in between Four Sword Adventures and
this was Zelda. Last Zelda, the last time they announced it was supposed to happen on Twilight Princess. The new one, the one that they just drew out the trailer for, which got the bow and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that looks like it's coming right after Skyward Sword. So I have no idea what that one is. But the one that they shelved. Remember they launched and it was the spider in the dungeon.
No, that was just a tech demo based on Twilight Princess assets. It was it was only for demo purposes.
Yeah, but I had that game reserved at GameStop. Like they had a Zelda that was coming out on the Wii at the end of the Wii U. Seriously, I had it reserved. It was literally out to reserve. And then the game never came. They just pushed it back and disappeared.
I don't know what Zelda you're talking about. Yeah, the Skyward Sword came at the end of the Wii. They had the Zelda demo at E3 for Wii U, and that was just a demo for graphics. And then they announced Zelda for Wii U after that.
Yeah, it was somewhere in the... I'd have to double check. I wish I could find the receipt.
But that's fine.
It doesn't matter. I just really remember a Zelda game being in...
But about Twilight Princess, though, what would you like to be changed,
if anything? Yeah, we got way off topic. Graphically, I thought it was amazing. I still look at the GameCube one or the Wii one every now and then and go, and God, thank you, Twilight Princess, for being broken and giving me my special Wii. There's so many great things about that game.
Yeah.
I bet they fixed that.
The Twilight hack?
I bet they fixed that.
No, it's in the new. It's on the new one. It's going to be on the NX.
It's on the NX.
Twilight hack for NX.
God, that game is. They didn't even talk about that, but. Changes to that. God, it looks great graphically. It was such a fun game. Again, which they're not going to do because that would take so much rewriting. But I didn't think the story was as tight as Skyward Sword or Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask.
They had some kind of Dark Link thing in there too that they kind of
and there's a little bit of Vatty, which comes from the other games. It kind of borrowed a lot of stuff from other games, which is cool. But it just wasn't real concise. It wasn't real clean, and that's the one thing that was kind of a bum out. I'd also like more side quest. I did not feel that Twilight Princess had enough of a side quest to it. You had the bug hunt, and you had like getting the bottles.
Heart
and hearts, but well, you always have heart containers.
Yeah.
It's like that's not adding anything. Like you look at all the side quests for like a Chronology of Time. There's like 10. You don't even have to do them again. But you got the Goron sword,
the milk thing.
You have the milk thing. You have getting your horse. You don't have to get your horse.
Right.
You don't have to go racing the horse. You don't have to save the farm. You don't have to You don't have to save the village. You don't have to meet the guy in the graveyard. You don't have to do any of that crap.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to get the Gorgon sword because the hammer works on Ganon at the end.
You don't have to find all the chickens.
Yeah, you don't have to find all the chickens. You don't have to get the golden sword tempered. You can just buy it and break it on Ganon and then use the hammer to win.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the sword there, eventually Navi suggests using the hammer. Hey, listen, use the hammer. or whatever. Hey, listen!
But you know what I do remember very distinctly about Twilight Princess was the dungeons. I thought were the best.
Dungeons were really good.
Any Zelda game.
Like, as far as redesign, I guess I would say if something that they could actually do other than story would
graphics.
Would side quest.
Yeah.
Like add some side quest stuff in. Add some new puzzly side questy stuff. Would be nice because I thought the side questing was a little weak.
I was surprised that people complained so much about the tutorial at the beginning because I never remembered it being bad.
You know, and we played it on launch day.
Yeah.
We went through the whole tutorial. I didn't have any issue.
Any problem. You have to learn how to pick up sheep in that little mini game, but that was it. Remember that?
Yeah, but everything came with a reward, and I don't remember it being a pain in the ass at all.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that at all. So I mean,
maybe if I played it now, because I haven't played it in a while, I'd be like, oh god, it is so lame because I know how to. But like,
I don't even remember it that well to be like that. I'd be like, oh, this is great.
The other thing that I'd like to see is a little more or selectable control styles. I forgot that it has a lot of waggle in it.
Yeah, most likely since it would be on the Wii U, it would be the GameCube version.
I would like a non-waggle, and we'll see. But the new GameCube version, Link's mirrored.
Yeah, it's a completely mirrored game. Everything is mirrored, opposite.
Yeah, and so I don't want it mirrored because I like the way the Wii version worked. That was the way it was intended to work. They just flipped it for GameCube later, so I don't want it flipped.
Maybe they'll flip
Link's
it anyway.
Supposed to be left-handed.
Yeah, but he's right-handed in the Wii version.
Is that what it is?
Yes. Because of the waggle.
So maybe they flipped it
in the Wii? So the GameCube version is actually the way it should be.
Now I'm so confused.
I've never played the GameCube version, so I don't know.
I've seen them both. Chad had GameCube when I had Wii.
His friend. Yeah.
And he went through the GameCube version. He loved it, and it looked great. It looked the damn near same.
Well, it's the same game. It's the
same game.
Ported over different controls.
Different controls. But yeah,
the
waggle. Get rid of the waggle. I would like some control options. And I'd really like some Wii U style control options.
It'd probably be like Wind Waker HD, where you can actually tilt the controller to do the boomerang.
Yeah.
And like the hook shot, if there is one. I don't remember in Wind Waker.
There was a hook shot.
But Twilight Princess had the double hook shot. I remember that was really cool.
That was the only game that had it too.
It had the spinner, which was awesome at the end of the game. It had the Ice Temple, which was one of my favorite dungeons of all time, and the Sky Temple, which is one of the favorite ones of all time.
The Sky Temple's amazing.
Yeah, so that game has some of the most memorable moments in it. What I would like for them personally to have more in the game would be a lot more grass to cut in the open world. The open world seemed kind of barren, flat.
Yeah,
just a lot of running into nowhere.
I would like to see graphical improvements like that. I'd like to see them really develop the world.
Like they could add a little bit more to the open world, more to do, more side quests, like you said. I think they could do a lot more with that, and just besides that, and the graphical overhaul.
But if they changed nothing and just updated the graphics, I'd still play it.
It'd be fine, yeah.
I'd still play the crap out of it, but I mean, the waggle would irritate me, especially since we've been basically off waggle for like 5 years now.
Yeah, the Wii U got away from that waggle stuff. They're like, oh, we're done.
And it's just not fun. The perfect way the Wii worked, and if you haven't played it,
games designed for that
is not waggle stuff. It's No More Heroes.
Yeah.
No More Heroes had the perfect thing. Like, you're pressing the buttons and doing button combinations until you put in the final blow.
Yeah.
And then you whack.
Mad
and
World.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Same thing with Mad World. Mad World. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hit it with the big button at the end. That for the motion controls are fun and satisfying.
Yeah.
Budokai was like that too. You dash. Like, you do your big moves with motion controls. You dash or you'd push one thing. but it wasn't like waggle to hit.
Yeah.
It was all fighting, playing button combinations.
You could pull both hands back and forward for the Kamehameha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
But, like, you could literally just go, and then you throw a fireball if you wanted to. You could also throw a fireball with buttons.
Yeah.
And so, it's supposed to... The problem with Twilight Princess was we all know the waggle was just tacked on at the end. And it felt tacked on at the end, and that's why it was crap. I mean, for me, I hated it. But I still played the whole game and enjoyed the game. I was just like, we all complained about it. We all know we had a moment that everyone's complained about waggle at some point.
Yeah. So yeah,
because it gets annoying doing this.
I wish I could just push the button instead of having to do this for the whole game. Because what's the weapon used the most in the game is your sword.
Yeah, and you're freaking beating the Wii controller.
Now, but what I did like was the bow and arrow control.
Bow and arrow control was amazing.
With the IR sensor.
Yeah, the IR sensor with the bow and arrow controllers was amazing. It really reminded me of all things, the Wii version of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Which was perfect and had no waggle.
Yeah.
It had waggle for the knife. But
you didn't have to use it though. You could press the C button.
You could C button for knife too.
Yep.
But you could waggle with knife.
But it actually worked better with waggle because it's easier just to go swipe once, and he immediately goes down where you're facing, and he swipes right away.
Yeah. I remember using it. It made the game easier because I like zombie like swipe
and
then like bang bang swipe.
And the aiming was perfect in that game. It was amazing. That was the best version of Resident Evil 4 I ever played. It was awesome.
Yeah,
But anyway, guys, thanks for listening to our Twilight Princess little montage here, and we will call it there, and we'll talk to you